Hey guys, Josh here. So just really quick, Earl in this video has a special announcement, special kind of tease that he wants to give you guys. So stay tuned for the entire video. See if you guys can catch it. If you can, you know what you get. Hey everybody, and welcome back to Nerd War and America's Heroes. I'm Josh, and that's Earl.
How you doing?
Alright, so it's been a week since Batman vs. Superman has premiered in theaters. So this night, me and Earl are going to go full-on spoilers talking about Batman vs. Superman. So, like Black Nerd Comedy says, we're going to give you the good, going to give you the bad, and we're going to give you the nerdy. So Earl, what did you think of Batman vs. Superman? Let's go with the returning cast.
I had absolutely no problem with Henry Cavill, or I thought that Lois Lane was nothing more than a plot device. I think she was just there to be the damsel in distress.
Yeah.
And see, as far as returning cast, you have Lawrence Fishburne. He's fine. He plays a really good Perry White.
I like him as Perry White. Yeah.
See who else was returning in there. Diane Lane as Martha Kent. She wasn't in there too much, but.
She plays a good Martha Kent.
Yeah, and you had a little bit from Kevin Costner in the dream sequence, which was fine. And I think that was it for returning characters.
I do believe so. So, besides, Amy Adams just being very bland and everything, I really did not like her in this movie. I was hoping she was gonna be something more than the damsel in distress. I was hoping she'd be more like her character in the last Man of Steel movie.
Right.
She had more badassery in that one.
Right. She was a little more self-sufficient. This one, she was more like, I'm the damsel in distress. You know, let me go put myself in situations. Because why? Because I know Superman's going to save me.
More the Lois Lane from the comic books, all that.
Right.
Which, I mean, some people might like that, but it just didn't work very well. So we dealt with returning cast. Let's go with new cast. Ben Affleck.
Great Batman. Best Batman. His Bruce Wayne was good. Very good.
Yeah.
I like the fact that they made him a little bit older. It helped out with him being, jaded and really not trusting Superman.
Yeah, and in this movie he kills a lot.
He wasn't naive. I mean, he told Alfred, he's like, how many good guys have we seen come about? And how many are still around, which was true. I mean, it could lend credence to the rumor that it's Jason Todd is the Joker in Suicide Squad.
Would be an interesting theory.
But I thought he did a great job. Probably the best new thing to come out of the Warner Brothers lot for DC characters in a long time.
Yeah.
There's one other, but we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, let's see. New Alexander Luthor Jr. Junior, not Alexander Luthor.
Yeah.
I mean, as a quirky Facebook type guy, Jesse Eisenberg, I didn't like him as Lex Luthor. If they had cast him as the actual Lex Luthor, I would not have liked him. But I guess casting him as the son made a bit more sense. But I still didn't like him. I just still didn't like this character very much.
Right. And the character had daddy issues, of all things.
Yeah.
He had daddy issues. I almost got to the point where he was schizophrenic. Because the way he would start talking, and then, he'd start talking like maybe about another subject, and then like go back to it. I mean, his speech pattern, and everything. He talked way too fast.
Way too fast. And in the last scene with him and Batman in the jail cell, he was prophesying. Sorry, he was prophesying Darkseid there. It's like they're coming, tick, 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 boop, and whatnot. And it's like, okay.
And he obviously knows about a lot of the, this goes back to the scenes where we get our brief glimpses of Flash, Aquaman, and Cyborg. There's a mother box in that scene.
Yeah.
So, he knows about that, so that could tie in the whole Darkseid deal, too.
I'm thinking that there's a deleted scene or a couple of deleted scenes with him and maybe like a Parademon or Darkseid just giving him a vision or something like that. I think that would give a lot more credence as to why he's all loose.
which we should see when the Blu-ray hits because they're gonna do that rated R version too.
Yeah. Let's see. New cast. Wonder Woman.
Perfect.
Definitely.
And I heard Diana Prince not so much.
I didn't care for the character Diana Prince. I really liked Wonder Woman.
Her Wonder Woman, she had facial expressions down like you wouldn't believe. Like whenever Doomsday's getting ready to Doomsday's in it. Doomsday's getting ready to hit Batman with his eye beams, and she jumps down and she just comes out from behind the shield and she starts fighting him. Well, Doomsday hits her. She hits the ground. She starts smiling.
Yeah, and she also blocks the beam with her bracelets too.
And it comes back, and she just starts smiling. The actress Gal Gadot, she did great with facial expressions. In that scene where she was smiling after getting hit by Darkseid, it's like, oh, this is on. It's on now.
Oh yeah.
And then after another spoiler, death of Superman.
Yeah.
She sits there and she's actually mourning. She doesn't know this guy, but she sees how hurt Lois is and feels bad for Lois.
I think she has the moves as well, not just the facial expression. She's got the moves of Wonder Woman too. All that jumping around, whatnot. that was amazing. That last battle scene.
Yeah.
Basically it was Death of Superman, that battle scene, but yeah, that was intense.
And a lot of fans were, just really bashing her and Ben Affleck when they were announced to be playing, respectively, the roles of Batman and Wonder Woman. And now they're praising them. That's the one thing I can't stand is before you see a movie and someone, for whatever reason, whether you don't like them or if the entire internet doesn't like them and you're jumping on the bandwagon, don't judge them until you see the finished product.
Yeah.
Then have fun.
I was kind of one of those people. When I saw Ben Affleck, I was like, perfect. He's an amazing director, amazing actor. When I saw Gal Gadot, whatever, however she says it, I was like, I don't really care for her. She's too skinny, and I've seen her in other movies. She was kind of bland, but once I saw her in her Wonder Woman costume, I was like, maybe I'll give her a try.
Yeah, that was the same way with me with Robert Downey Jr. I was like, oh my goodness, they're getting Robert Downey Jr. Then they show him the scene where he's building the first Iron Man armor in the cave in Afghanistan. I'm like, oh, this is good.
Yes, and he played that perfectly. Still does. Let's see, Alfred, Jeremy Irons.
This guy turned out being really sarcastic, much like
kind of like the Batman animated series a bit.
The Batman animated, the Alfred in there was just always sarcastic, and the Michael Caine, in the Nolan movies, which this one, I mean, it's an older Batman, so Alfred's seen a lot, a little more jaded. They actually pulled word for word a few lines from Dark Knight Returns and threw it in there.
Really?
Yep, the one where he said a line about the Wayne heirs coming home to an empty wine cellar. That was pulled straight out of Dark Knight Returns, and I just thought, he did a really good job.
So for me, what I'm really wondering in this whole universe is what happened to the Wayne Manor, because Bruce Wayne still has Wayne Enterprises, so he's still a millionaire. I mean, we saw him in that one lakeside house that he had, but I'm still wondering why he hasn't built up Wayne Manor back again, because I know it looks like it's burnt down.
It could be, it could eventually lead into something like No Man's Land. It could be a bunch of villains got out. Could be Ra's al Ghul found out, he was Batman and destroyed the manor. There's so many ways they can go with it. I just hope when they do it,
it makes sense. Yeah. I'm really hoping that the next Batman movie is going to be amazing. I mean, for me, I'm really looking forward to the Cyborg and Aquaman movie right now, because I saw Aquaman, looks amazing. Cyborg, I really liked how they showed his origin in that.
Yeah, and he started
just like New 52.
Yeah, he just started with the mother box, and he started being formed right there, with the upper half being there. I didn't notice this until someone told me yesterday after I watched the second time. The guy who plays Silas Stone was also the actor Joe Morton, who was in Terminator 2 and
Oh, really?
Skynet. Yeah.
Cool. So let's see. What did you think of Flash, Barry Allen?
A lot better than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah?
Everybody's used to seeing Grant Gustin, and it's just going to take a little time. But, you know, Ezra Miller looks just like a regular normal guy. He was getting some groceries at the store. Saw this guy sticking it up, zoomed by, and then went back. No problem. The scene where Bruce Wayne is sleeping,
Yeah.
and he has the Flashpoint moment with Flash, and he's like, "You were right about him. You were right all along, Lois.
Lois is the key. Yeah.
So it all harkens back to that other scene where it actually looks like Zack Snyder movie with 300, and it's all brown and everything. And you look out, and these trucks are coming, and if you look, there's a giant Omega symbol.
Mm-hmm.
We all know it's Darkseid.
Yeah.
And we think that it's Batman getting residual memories from an alternate universe.
Could be. Could be just a regular nightmare.
Could be.
But yeah, thinking of that, what did you think of that scene? That not that it was a nightmare scene, but what did you think of that in the movie?
It was interesting. If it is like an alternate reality, this Batman is totally different from the Batman that was in Batman vs. Superman. Mainly because, and I was talking to a buddy of mine the other day, and he swore up and down that Batman didn't kill anybody in that scene. And Batman was shooting people left and right.
Mm-hmm.
You know, capping them.
Breaking necks.
Yeah, he's capping people and everything. You know, bam, brrr, you know, filling full of lead. So, you know, this Batman in the future, if it's not to reality, does that Batman just didn't kill earlier in his career and is now out of necessity? Or has he always been that killer?
We don't know.
You're right. And it may never come to pass.
What I'm really excited about, well, what I really liked about that entire nightmare scene, whatever you want to call it, the Batman suit. I really like that suit. The trench coat, whatnot, the desert look. That was pretty cool.
It was. When he had the scarf over him to protect himself from the sand, I was sitting there going, And he pulls it off, and he actually has the bat cowl on.
Yeah.
Another thing that tipped you off was the fire pits. All the fire coming out of the ground, going up in the sky. Like, did he turn Earth into New Apocalypse?
Could have had a Darkseid terraform it.
Yeah.
And kind of thinking that in that nightmare scene, Superman is working for Darkseid, which would make a lot of sense. I really think that they should have gone with the Injustice route on this, but that's just my opinion. So what did you think of Batman vs. Superman in its fullest, the story or stories?
You know, they could have gone a little more in depth. I know with Wonder Woman, they couldn't go much more because you have the whole secret about the photo from Belgium in 1918, and we're going to get that whole story in her first movie. A little more Batman backstory, because we don't know if the new Batman movies that are going to come out are going to take place in present movie timeline
Or the past.
or the past. So, you know, they put the little things in there like the, you know, ha ha ha, joke's on you, Batman, on the Robin costume. We all know what that is.
That's Joker, yes. That's Jason Todd right there.
Yeah. So, I thought overall, if I had to give it a grade, I'd give it, you know, a B minus.
Yeah. I give it a... I can't remember. I think I gave it a C+. I don't know. But yeah, it didn't enthrall me. It wasn't as good as I was hoping it, but it was definitely better than I was expecting it to be with all the ratings and reviews and whatnot.
You know, that's another thing. You know, a lot of the reviews came out, and it's movie critics who don't know comic history.
Yeah.
It's quite possible they made maybe this movie a little too comic book type. Maybe a little too comic booky and didn't, you know, have to explain stuff. Because I know a lot of movies you have to hold the general public's hand and explain things to them, you know, very slowly.
And that's not the case with comic books.
Yeah, and with this movie, they didn't explain jack. You know, they didn't come out and immediately say, you know, this is Batman, you know, 20 years after he started. And because Alfred then makes a comment about, you know, doing this for the last 20 years. And, you know, about him getting older.
Yeah. What did you think of Zack Snyder actually having the Batman origin, Bruce Wayne's origin in the beginning?
I see why they did it, to tie the whole Bruce Wayne, Martha, and Martha Kent at the end. Because your normal moviegoers may not know the name of Thomas and Martha Kent. Some people actually just put two and two together. They used Martha for Bruce Wayne and Clark Kent.
Yeah. I actually just connected the dots then myself last week. I was like, oh yeah, both their mothers are named Martha.
And then there's a bunch of internet conspiracy theorists or rumor mongers, as I like to call them. Both their mothers were named Martha. Maybe they were brothers. No. You know why? Martha Wayne got shot and killed. Martha Kent is still alive. And not only that, Bruce Wayne's real mother was named Laura. Superman's real mother's name is Laura. She's an alien. Come on, people. Think.
It's ridiculous. People are
It
just dumb. For me, I thought this movie just was cramming too many things in. It had maybe 3 or 4 different storylines altogether. It had a Man of Steel 2. It had a Batman movie, Batman vs. Superman, that I think it was 10 minutes of Batman actually fighting Superman, and as well as the death of Superman at the end.
Yeah.
So it was kind of really crammed in there. I think Zack Snyder is an amazing director. He does a lot of great visual effects, but I don't think his story process really has a good hit with audiences.
I don't think it's good. It's good for superhero movies. It worked well in 300, but not well in superhero movies because Superman, Wonder Woman. Now, I will say this. I do like the fact that Wonder Woman's costume was the way it was. I've heard some people complain about, oh, well, it's not red, white, and blue. It's like,
it's been used for over at least 100 years.
I would like anybody who was a Wonder Woman fan, without looking it up on the internet, to tell me why her costume was red, white, and blue. If they can tell me that, I'll give you... If you walk into the store and tell me why,
listen up, people,
Wonder Woman's costume was red, white, and blue, I'll give you a $20 gift certificate.
Hot dog. Come on, guys,
Let's
listen
see
to
if you
that.
come up with the right answer.
Yeah, listen to that.
And it had nothing to do with her fighting for truth, justice, in the American way or anything like that.
That's Superman's thing.
Her costume, with all the armor, looking the colors it did, is perfect because you don't have red, white, and blue armor when you go into battle.
That's just comic booking and ridiculous.
Right.
But yeah, for me, it was really nice to see the DC Trinity up on the big screen for the very first time.
Yep.
This is the first time we get to see Batman, Wonder Woman, and Superman on big screen together.
Yep, together. We've seen Batman and Superman apart. Great. But I was most hyped about seeing Wonder Woman, and it lived up to it.
Yeah. So one last thing before we go. Zack Snyder's Justice League movie. Are you still looking forward to seeing him directing it, or are you a bit more reserved now that you've seen Batman v Superman?
I'm a bit more reserved now. I think Zack Snyder's biggest movie so far has been 300.
Yeah, loved it.
Well, until Batman versus Superman. Get him some help. I mean, now, the executive producer credits on there did have Christopher Nolan in it, but that can mean anything. Just because he executive produced the Superman movie, he might get to have executive producer credits throughout all the DC universe, and I think that's the case.
Yeah.
Snyder, while, they had, input from Jeff Johns and all these other people, they need somebody who's going to tell the writers and the producers, this is a good idea and this isn't. They don't need yes men.
Which is kind of what I'm thinking DC is more like right now.
Right. And it doesn't matter if they say, no, that's not right. The studio can still do whatever they want to since the studio owns DC.
Yeah.
But I think listening to the comic creators and the editors, don't listen to Didio and Jim Lee. Just listen to Jeff Johns.
Yeah, John is the one you want to listen to.
And do it. Do it right. I mean, play the more mythology into it. You know, these days everybody is so politically correct about different things that if you start bringing in like Zeus and Hera and you start calling them gods, you're going to have somebody get upset because you called these beings gods, and they're not, and they'll be like, well, they're not really God, there's only one God, and you're going to have a big old mess.
Just don't worry about offending people. Everyone's going to get offended. Just deal with it.
Enjoy the movie. You know,
yeah.
They're mythology characters.
They're not real.
I mean, the superheroes aren't real.
Yeah.
So, I just think they just need to just buckle down, be true to the source material, but you don't have to do everything from the source material.
Mm-hmm. So, really quick, what did you think Batman vs. Superman should have done differently? Well, yeah.
I really think they should have scaled back on a few different things. There was a lot of unnecessary scenes.
Yeah.
There was the scene where Bruce Wayne and Diana are looking at that sword, and it's like, oh, it's a fake, and you know the hard drive's in your glove box. Okay, we didn't need to see that. The scene at the Luthor party could have been cut short.
Yeah.
Martha reiterating to Clark, you know, you don't owe these people anything, and so on. That's true. They kept reiterating that these people, and even Lois said it, these people need you. No, they don't.
He wasn't sent there to save everyone.
I would like to see some more selfishness from Superman.
Yeah. I mean, he's giving everyone else his time. What about Superman?
Yep.
Alright, so that'll be it for us, guys. Thank you for sticking around to our spoiler discussion, spoiler talk about Batman v Superman. I'm Josh, that's Earl, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Take care.